Hello, my name is Rick G. I'm going to start a new channel. My gamer tag on Transformers is Rocked by Rick. As you can see, I'm a big fan. That's pretty much what I've made my life about, is collecting Transformers, customizing, amongst other various activities. I like to surf and skate and do lots of other manly things. Anyway, the big news that I want to start doing is covering Beast Wars. Lots of G1 fans out there. Lots of people have been covering Titans Return, Combiner Wars, Power of the Primes, reviewing the figures when they come out. And I always kind of felt like I was a little behind the game there. But I was also learning as I was going, because a lot of the things from G1, I haven't actually watched the cartoon in its entirety as an adult. I think I've seen all or most of the episodes at one point or another. But the big thing that I was learning about G1 was I was getting more and more interested in it as they were coming out with the new Generations toy line, and third party and knockoffs and so forth, and that's part of a larger discussion. But mainly, Hasbro has really impressed me with their newer Generations line of the the previous said Combiner Wars, and not so much Combiner Wars, but I did really like Titans Return, and I didn't think I would as much because of the head gimmick. I thought maybe those were going to pop off really easy and get lost somewhere, or maybe if when you're putting it in the vehicle mode, it didn't sit right or something. I don't know. At first, the idea of it bothered me, and then the more I played with the gimmick, the more I found I really enjoyed it, and then I found it vastly improved some of my smaller Transformers, as I'll eventually show you in a comparison video. For like one of these deluxe Megatrons that I have that's really small. It's got this little tiny face, but I really like the figure. I feel like the little headmasters that I have amplify that one, because it makes him look gigantic in comparison. So there's pluses and minuses all across the board. Anyway, enough rambling about G1. Again, where I came into the picture was in the early 90s. I was born in 1988, so that makes me coming up on 30 years old this year. So Beast Wars was my catalyst into Transformers. I was aware of Transformers, and I'd had G1 toys. Not to say that they didn't impress me as a child, but when I held Beast Wars in my hand and they had ball joints and spring-loaded, automated transformation gimmicks, and then there were dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs, so at least I did as a child more than I've ever have as an adult. But there's always been a fondness, to the mythological kind of dragon dinosaurs. I wanted to be a paleontologist when I was a kid. I swore that was what I was going to do until one day I kind of realized that it's not like it looks in Jurassic Park, and maybe I won't make as much money, sweating out in the desert trying to look for a fragment of a bone. But so I became a waiter instead. Go figure. But anyway, so back on topic, what I want to do is start discussing Beast Wars news. And whereas my knowledge does falter a little bit in the G1, I think Beast Wars is one thing that I've held near and dear to my heart my entire life, and I've absorbed as much information as I can about that series, and the toys and the comics that have followed, and any information I can find about it whatsoever. So thus forth, what I'd like to do is anything I can to gain attention towards this channel that is previously unheard of, and for you, the public, I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube, obviously, and I want basically to cover any kind of Beast Wars news that will be coming down the pipeline. I'm sure most of the Transformers fans that have already been in the pipeline kind of know what's going on with the end of Power of the Primes line. We, as the fans, voted in the Optimus Primal as the new Prime. So that gives me the greatest hope that as the last figure, or one of the last figures we get in Power of the Primes, be an actual Beast Wars figure. To put it another way, a Beast Wars figure ties up the G1 line. My greatest hope is that the next evolutionary logical path that Hasbro would do is after Power of the Primes and the Prime War trilogy is concluded, then they do a remake of Beast Wars, whether it be a cartoon or the new toy line or a combination of all of the above, maybe even in the movie universe someday. This is my hopes and dreams all coalescing, and I really, again, there's so much more I want to talk about, but I'm not sure how to put it in a way that is interesting to everybody and not just myself gushing about the things that I love. So I'm going to try to break it down. The first things I'll do is cover some of the toys that I already have and some of the toys that I'm hoping they'll remake in the new line. Hopefully it'll be all of them, but if they can't do all of them, I'm going to give my predictions for what I think will come to pass. The MP line, I don't have any of those specifically, but I do hope to gain more MP style, whether it be third party or Hasbro, or I mean Takara Tomy, actual official Masterpiece line. Sorry, I got caught up thinking about there's a gray mold of the Megatron Purple Dinosaur that'll be coming out, and that's actually, I think, going to be my first Masterpiece Beast Wars figure, so hopefully I'll be able to do a review on this channel for that figure. Anyway, that being said, I'll go ahead and wrap it up, and we'll start with some of my hopes and dreams for the new line. If it does come out, I'll make my predictions, and then I'll review some of the Beast Wars and Generations toys that I do have. Maybe one day I can do a full collection video, and I'll end it on that note. Thanks again, fans. All right.